Hello everybody, welcome back to another 3D Thursday. I'm Noe.
Pedro Ruiz. Great to
take
here at Adafruit.
And this is a massive, epic party. Let's start.
I'm Tony D, so do a lot of programming at Adafruit, but I also do some 3D printing, so here to talk about 3D printing fun.
Phil B, same deal. Mostly do coding, but now and then some 3D printed collaborations with these guys.
I'm Scott. I joined Adafruit like a month ago, and I'm super excited to do collaborations with everybody around here.
I'm Dano. I help run the machine line that's going on behind us, and I do a lot of 3D printing on the side.
So if we see you run, we know something's caught on fire.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but oh, I already have a mic.
Yeah.
So this is the show that covers 3D printing projects and electronics featuring
Products are made for.
Yeah. So we have a coupon code for you guys every week. Today's coupon code is Neo Spikes. So definitely take advantage of that to get 10% off on your order. You get printers, filaments, and all the lovely boards that bring your projects to life.
This is sort of a pseudo random type show because there's so many of us here. But hey, let's start off with what are you prototyping?
So this week, I think you have the video loaded up.
I don't. Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. But anyway, what are you working on, Pedro?
Yeah, so if you check out my Instagram, you might have seen this pretty cool glowing chair that I've been working on for the past, I want to say, month, because it's so massive. It just takes like 30 hours of print, and I was doing a bunch of weight testing on it to make sure that, you know, when I ship it over to the office over here to show off, you don't fall when you sit on it. So I was trying to get away with like 5% infill on this, which totally did not work. Yeah.
How many shells?
So I'm using 3 shells is what I ended up using, and the infill 30%. But the interesting thing that I did with the infill was that I changed the angle at which each line prints. So I started off at 0%, then 45%, then 60, 90, 120, negative 120, and went all the way back down so that it acts as like sort of like it's like crisscrossing as it's doing each infill to sort of make it more stronger. So this glowing part was a really cool idea from PT. So I forget where he found this from on one of the blogs. They were set up as these crazy expensive chairs that just glue, and they had them outside. They had very nice little scenery around them. So I just stuck a 60 ring NeoPixel inside there. We'll have like a blue fruit feather inside there, so you can just change the colors for that. And it's a pretty cool little way to just have like a glowing chair that's been 3D printed, I guess.
So I have a question. How did you make that design? Like, is that some computer generated thing, or did you model that?
Yeah, so it's modeled inside of Fusion 360, and they have a Veronoi plugin generator. So that's where I'm making all of the cool little designs for that. So it's all parametric, so if you want to use like different dowels, for this project, I'm using a 7/8 inch dowel that you can, it's pretty, you know, it's not so skinny that, you know, it's gonna break on you, but it's sturdy enough to where you can, at least 150 pounds it does hold, and you can feel that it's pretty heavy. It takes a whole spool of filament, just about. I had to order like the 5-pounder to make sure that I made at least 2 of these chairs. But it's a future project that'll be released. I think I released the project as a time-lapse Tuesday a couple of months ago. So if you're feeling adventurous and you already want to print it, the files are available. And because there are Fusion 360 files, every update that I'm constantly doing, you should be able to see like a log of the history of all the components that I've been adding to it.
Ah, yes, it's like built-in revision, which is great. Okay, cool. So and if you have a small printer, you can cut it.
You can chop it up in different pieces, and again, it's parametric, so you can make it, you know, as small as you want. Make it a chair for ants,
or your cat.
Or your cat. Yeah, definitely make a cool little cat chair.
All right, that's next week's project, or one of the weeks. One of the future weeks.
Yeah.
This week's project was, you can check it out now, it's on learn.adafruit.com. It's the glowing mace thing over here.
Yeah, so anytime you guys want to take a sneak peek of what we're working on, we probably release the learning guide for these early.
On Monday.
Is that a hot tip, how to find out what Noe and Pedro are up to?
Yeah,
there might be an RSS feed. I don't know if we have RSS feeds on Learn.
May.
Do it? Does anybody know?
I don't think we have an RSS feed.
feeds?
I don't know. Good
question.
I don't know. Anyway, I talked about this on last week's show because I didn't have it. I couldn't bring TSA wouldn't let me bring it on over here, so I couldn't bring it. I apologize. I'd have it showing here, but go check out the guide event already. Check out the project video. It's kind of neat. And if you guys out there are cosplayers, prop builders, makers, you can totally remix this circuit. You know, it's a pretty simple circuit. You can
Modify this to make like a wand or like an axe or something like that.
battle axe would be
Battle
cool.
axe.
Gauntlets. We have some
yeah.
gauntlets as a tutorial too.
Super simple circuit.
Yeah. I like this button.
Trinket.
I'm just liking this button. Really cool button.
Feels
Metal
nice.
button. So check it out. And if you want to pick up any of the components that we used, why not save a few bucks? Support all of us lovely people here.
Yeah. As Phil likes to say, not
bucks.
venture funding. We don't take any loans out. We're in the shipping product business.
Cool. Okay. That was what we're prototyping, and this week's project. Next up, Layer by Layer. I did a top 3 features that kind of helped me build the mace. That will be up. Actually, I think it's already up. So check that out after the show. Yeah, it's just a really quick one. Nice sort of overview of some nice features in Fusion that helps you build multi sub-assemblies. So if you have multiple parts, you want to use components, you want to use section analysis and all that good stuff. But anyway, check that out. Next up, Shop Talk. The first thing I want to talk about or share or promote, whichever one, is a contest, Pinshape contest. The lovely folks at Pinshape reached out to us, and we're sponsoring their latest contest. It is Design for Electronics contest. It ends October 15th, so it ends in 16 days. So you get some cool prizes. First place wins a 3D printer, $200 worth of Adafruit goods, some filament. Second place wins the little baby M3D microprinter. Third place wins a pen, a 3D printing pen. Cool. There are already lots of entries. Here are some of the awesome entries. So check these out to get some inspiration. Breathalyzer, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty gnarly one right there. What do you guys think? A 3D printed breathalyzer. I like that it's posted on Hackster.io, so you guys can already take a look at all the components that they used, and he has a nice little guide for that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking the ET looking Raspberry Pi Octoprint rig there. That's pretty cool. There's a ton of quadcopter entries as well.
Oh yeah.
What else do we have here?
Quadcopter.
Of course, Pokemon Go stuff.
Quadcopter. Hexcopter.
Yeah, so this is going to be a difficult one to judge because there are
Yeah.
like a bunch of really good entries already.
Oh, that BB-8 looks really cool right there. That would be
BB-8,
a
yeah.
fun one.
Cool. And so check out the rules. You don't actually have to own a 3D printer. You don't actually have to have electronics. It just has to be a design with that in mind. And some of the judging criteria is technical experience, design functionality, application, design creativity, uniqueness, presentation, image quality, print settings, your actual assembly instructions, because we all know how documentation is important.
Yeah, that is the whole reason why we're here.
Cool, and there's some FAQs and stuff, so check that out. I'll have the link down below, but you can check it out at pinshape.com and just go to their contests thing. They also have some other contests too, so check those out if you're interested.
And they're going to be at Maker Faire Saturday and Sunday, so
Right.
we'll see if they brought any of the, I know that they were working on some designs as well, so we'll see if they brought any of those with them.
Yay.
So definitely check that out.
Okie dokie.
And quickly want to mention always giving shout outs to the people in the chat room. Sorry guys, forgot to do that. Give shout outs out to Make This Now, Benji, Ryder, Marcus, Zach Blog, and who else is in here?
Some people might be working at, or
Hi,
at school.
Kim, Curran.
You get a shout out. You get a shout out.
Thanks everybody for
Everyone,
joining.
look under your chair. There's a shout out.
Every week. Oh, thanks guys. Saying that favorite show every week. Awesome.
All right. So now I wanted to kind of bring the floor to you guys. There are some projects, Tony, that you've done that you
Yeah,
You
well-
use 3D printing?
Right. So,
if
and
you
I'll
wanna
just
throw anything-
kind of talk a little bit about how I got into 3D printing. So I have maybe a few years ago, I got a printer bot Simple Metal, which is kind of like the default entry level printer. I don't know. I kind of think of it like the Apple II of 3D printers. You know, it's like the one that is everyone gets and is a little hackable and kind of fun. So I like it a lot. I've had fun with it. So I've learned a lot with it. I know nothing about 3D printing like when I got it, so I've just been learning through a lot of what Noe and Pedro are doing. And I haven't really done a lot of modeling yet. That's maybe the next step that I need to take. I've done some basic stuff with like Tinkercad. So there's a project, the Smart Toilet Light. This is an April Fool's
really
project.
cool.
At the time, you know, there's like the toilet bowl lights that are a kind of funny product. Like I think it was on Shark Tank or something like that. But I wanted to do a version where it's internet connected, so like you could have it display the weather, you know, like blue if it's going to rain or something. And it was kind of funny because it's actually a cool idea. Like
It's
you
pretty
might wanna
useful,
use
yeah.
this, yeah. But I knew that I needed some way to connect the LED to the toilet bowl, and so I was trying to think a lot of ways like you could tape it down maybe, but I didn't want it to be something, you know, like nothing really sticks to porcelain. Like that's the whole point of it. It's non-porous. So I didn't want to glue it on. So I figured, oh, let's make a clip. We'll 3D print something. So I used Tinkercad for this, for the clip on the right there. The box is actually something that I think Noe designed that one. Real simple. It was just like a feather case. So I just told Noe, I need a case for a feather, and like literally an hour later or so, it popped out. So that's how I do 3D printing sometimes. But that on the right, that little clip, I basically just took some surfaces and put them together, union them, and you know, it's very simple, like Boolean operations. You know, I took a cylinder and cut out that hole for the LED. I think I only printed 2 or 3 of them and got all the tolerances right, and it worked out well. And so it's simple, and but it worked well. And the Tinkercad worked great. That's like the online CAD program. So I want to learn a little more and maybe go further, try it like Fusion 360, some of the parametric stuff, maybe mess with that. But so that's where I'm at with 3D printing. I'm still kind of learning. You know, the printer bot Simple Metal is just PLA only, at least the way I have it set up. So I'm, you know, a little limited by that, but I think that's good to work in those constraints for me. So it's a whole new area for me. You know, I do a lot of like software development where I'm maybe more comfortable with that. So it's good to get into something where I'm not as comfortable and learning more about it. So it's exciting and interesting to me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my 3D printing story so far.
And what I like about the printer bots is it kind of forces you to learn G code because you have to set up the Z Pro because of that.
And that's why it's kind of like the Apple II thing, where it's like you know, you see the like low level of how this thing works. You really have to learn a lot about it. So.
And you actually had some tips for getting some really flat
so
prints.
here's the printer bot Simple Metal hot tip of the week from Tony D. So I had a lot of problems because I like to print a lot of like Raspberry Pi cases, things with big flat surfaces, and those are a little difficult with PLA on a non-heated bed. If you don't get the adhesion right, your corners won't stick. They'll stick initially, and then like they heat up and they'll lift up, and you just get these curved surfaces, which actually adds a neat aesthetic if you want that, but if you want a flat surface, it's really annoying. So I had all kinds of problems with it, and I ended up using the zebra plate that we have in the shop. Noe and Pedro actually had done like some good demos of, and it's made for like a surface you print on, and you can easily bend it to kind of remove your print, but it also sticks really well with PLA. And so once I started using that, I got much better prints on my printer bot Simple Metal, like flat surfaces. It's not 100% perfect, but it's like 95% of the way there. I'm happy with the results. It's much better. Yeah, so simple upgrade, I'd say, for the printer bot is get that zebra plate, and it's easy. You just put it down and clip it, and you're good to go, and just print on it. So good stuff with that.
And one of the cool things about it is that it has like this layer of copper so that the Z probe is able to figure out where it is.
This Z adjustment wasn't hard at all. I don't even know if I had to adjust it at all. It was, you know, that's always the tricky thing, you know, if you're new to 3D printing, like there's a little fiddling involved, at least with like the printer bot and some of the more kind of open printers like that you do a lot of yourself. But it wasn't hard. It was easy with the zebra plate.
Oh, cool. And if you want to check out all of the really cool projects that Tony D has worked on, learn at adafruit.com/users/Tony D.
Team DiCola?
Yeah, that
Team
works.
DiCola.
Or yeah, just look at like Raspberry Pi projects. You'll probably find things for me. So yeah, all kinds of fun stuff there.
I'll be sure to add a link below. Okay,
Cool.
next up.
Mr. Phil B.
Hello there, yeah, Phil B. Boy, if I had to pick one project to talk about, I'd say the Talking D20 is one of my favorites. What I liked about this one we've collaborated on things a lot where I'll do some code and you do some 3D modeling. But this is one where I think we really had the like a jam session kind of thing going between us with the 3D design. And I like that what came out of it. You couldn't really do it in another medium, like laser cutting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a completely
You'd have to like
3D
glue
circuit.
things, yeah.
The way the boards were you know, arranged and everything. So I think it really exploited the medium very well, and I like what came out of it. Aside from that, yeah, my story very much mirrors Tony's. I am just you know, beginning with the modeling, and I wish I had more hours in the day, or like some clones that could you know, I could do all these things at once. It's fun to screw around with.
Definitely fun to make something on screen, and then, you know, a couple hours later it's there physically, and then, oh no, I got to redo it because the sizing's not right. But yeah, one of the coolest things that that we had with the D20 was the very fine edges that you were able to make on that. Noe tried like in a bunch of different packages to try to replicate that.
And I'm sorry, I don't remember how I did it. It was tough. I do remember doing like trigonometry and typing numbers into something, and I couldn't tell you. I might have even written something that generated a 3D file in code.
That makes sense.
I'd have to look it up because I don't know. It was tough. Maybe I've blocked it from my memory.
I know sometimes those things can be traumatizing. Trying to figure out, and especially when you like go one version further and it's like the version a couple steps back that is what worked. You're like, I should have written that down.
But the great thing was the thing that came out, the end product, it really did mesh together very well.
Yeah.
Because trying to model that just wasn't quite right, and even just those little tiny imperfections interfered with the fit.
Another one of my favorite ones, super useful, that sort of made the rounds all over the net, was the little fume extractor too. It's one of those, we use it on every project. It's one of those tools that you don't think about it. You know, even if you have like, you know, a nice big fume extractor, but being able to get it like with those teeny tiny little parts, sort of just fit in between.
Yeah, and I've noticed, because I've been switching to lead-free solder, the flux. Well, first of all, everyone says don't breathe those fumes, but they're a lot. They're like syrupy almost, and so that fan just picks it up really well.
It so well, yeah.
So yeah, I've been using my own project a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of the tricks that you figured out in that too was the way that the forget what it is, the way that it grips on to the little USB part for the power boost. That was pretty genius.
Yeah,
the way you came up with that one.
Weird friction fit kind of thing going on. I don't like things with a million screws in them.
Yeah.
You know,
we can go overboard sometimes.
PowerBook before,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, I hate that. And it's like,
you always have,
can we use?
You always have extra screws that don't match back into where you thought they would.
Yeah.
And then like the nubs also that hold the fan part in place also, I started using again with a future project. I was able to grab all those.
I think like two screws in the project.
Yeah. And it's super sturdy. The little filter fits in there so perfect, and the circuitry for it is so simple. I love it.
Yeah.
So useful. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely give it a go. It is so handy when you're making these projects.
I've been meaning to remix it with a tripod thing.
I
always put like a stack of books.
The flexi, the tubing would be.
Or that,
so
that
you
would be
really
awesome.
get it up close to your.
Hey,
work.
that could be an opportunity for a contest entry for Pinshape.
There you go.
Good stuff.
We do have those quarter 20, or what is it, the 5.6 by quarter 20 adapters fit in there.
Tripod adapters. Cool. So check out Phil B's awesome projects on
He's
learn.acer.com.
worked on a bunch of them. Those are just the ones we could remember off the top of our heads.
There's many more.
Check those out. Next up, we have the newest member to the Adafruit team, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, I've been here like a month. It's been awesome. I see all the awesome stuff everybody else has done. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so since I'm new, I might as well say what my background is. I spent almost 6 years at Google working on Google Maps. as a software engineer. So that's what I do, is not so much the physical things, but more of the digital things. And I'm super excited to like also help in the way that Philby's also help you guys like get some more code and 3D
Code
things.
is always needed.
Yeah,
all the time.
So I'm super excited for that collaboration. After I left Google last year, I tried to start my own company called Chickadee Tech. It is still going, and I made a modular open source hardware flight control system that Noe's pulling up. I basically did that. I took it all the way from the start of design all the way through manufacturing, and you can actually go on the site and buy it. So if you're into quadcopters like I am, this is a really cool flight controller. It runs Betaflight, which is also open source. So I did that, but and it's on sale right now. Haven't gotten a ton of sales though, so I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to like find a job. And Adafruit's an awesome company. So I posted on the jobs board. So if you're looking for a job at Adafruit or other really awesome companies, that's a great way to start. I had also done the show and tell. You may recognize me from the show and tell on these boards as well. And then I did MicroPython work for Adafruit. So that's one of the bigger things that we're doing going forward, which is it's a re-implementation of Python, which is a pretty good introductory programming language that can scale really well. And it's been around for at least a decade, if not more. And what we're doing is we're taking it and basically I'm doing the work to make it work on more of the Adafruit boards. So the Feather M0, the Arduino Zero, they all use a chip called the CMD21, which is an ARM Cortex M0 Plus. And so I'm doing all of the development to get MicroPython, an existing project, working on the boards for Adafruit. And Tony's and I are like tag teaming on that. He's been doing a lot of the tutorials and stuff. So if that's interesting to you.
It's so cool to see you guys in the chat room, like, back and forth on, I got this part working. Oh, okay, let's tackle that part.
We're finally getting to the point where I think we're going to start evangelizing it more. And I talked with you guys yesterday. I was like, hey, while you're here, let us sit you down and like get you going on it. So hopefully the upcoming 3D projects we'll see are powered by MicroPython, which would be really
awesome,
cool.
Yeah.
And the drone stuff too, like we talked about that.
Yeah.
And that's my most, circling back to 3D printing, that's like kind of where I've seen it the most recently. I had the same printer bot story as Tony, and that's, I think I may have been the first person to get the zebra tip. Because I had the same problem, but I actually sold my printer, so I don't actually have it anymore.
I think a lot of people are in the same boat too. They use it as their starter, and then get all the knowledge that they've gotten from that and implement it into others.
Yeah, but for quadcopters and stuff, some people have created some really, really cool prints that will like hold the first-person view camera in front, for example, or it might hold the antennas at a particular angle. Super useful. And not NinjaFlex, but TPU is a really common material that they use for holding like a GoPro or the other HD action cameras. So you can like flex it out and like snap it in there, but because it's not rigid, it doesn't break when you crash it into a tree or anything. Which is awesome.
So a lot of bumper use for protection and like the little rubber feet stoppers and things like that.
I just got a frame called the Mini Owl, and it has a NinjaFlex. You can buy a NinjaFlex bumper to go out on the outside of it.
Cool.
I should show you a picture because it's an indoor one. So it's like total size is like this. And it's actually brushless, so it's going to be, when I finally put it together, it's going to be super powerful. It's going to be awesome.
So definitely look out for more drone-related projects.
Yep, I'd send you the picture. Somebody put a like spider thing on top of one of those.
I see that. No, you did see that.
Yeah.
So there definitely is for Halloween a UFO tractor beam inspired project coming after that.
I loved that post too because they were like, the spider's great as landing gear.
Definitely. So we got to figure a way to sort of incorporate NinjaFlex, making like the arms or something like that for it.
That'd be really cool.
Cool. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
thanks
appreciate you
thanks for
letting me
joining.
crash the party. Yeah.
Well, next up, we got very awesome Dano.
Hello, I'm Dano. Long-time listener, first-time caller, you could say. I've been with Adafruit since 2013.
Yeah.
This is my first appearance on a live stream, I believe.
I think
So
you
hello,
were in
world.
one of the interview last year for when we were at
Oh,
Maker
that's
Faire.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
We
was
did
with
have you
Maker
on
Faire.
before.
So a lot of what I do at Adafruit is
Oh, yeah.
building testers like this.
You can put it under the overhead, maybe.
Yep.
Oh, that's
I
let's
have
see.
it loaded.
Oh, yeah. I'll jump in there. Let me see.
This is one of our prettier looking testers. We had some fancy iridescent line acrylic, and we happen to have a pie case that matched its color very closely. So
Very cool.
we made a set of testers that are
There you go.
color matched.
Oh no, the auto focusing is all crazy on it.
Every time on Ask Engineer.
I don't know.
I don't know how to work
So
the camera,
this
but
is
anyway.
this is a very big deal here at Adafruit for making all these tester jigs.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull this micro USB cable out so it doesn't hang and get in the way. We've got about 250 products that we make in-house.
Yeah.
Some are getting made behind us right now. The solar lipo charger is in the works. And so we've got testers for all these products. We test them here to make sure that they work before we package them and get them into the store to be bought. So a lot of my day-to-day work is building testers or repairing testers or just cursing at them for not working for unexplainable reasons.
It's always the worst. And you use 3D printing a lot in building some of the jigs for those as well.
Yeah, so we do some 3D printing and laser cutting. You can see on this tester the base is laser cut, and then we've got just a really basic block that holds the clamp at the right height. So we use the 3D printer here for some of that, but on the side I do a lot of 3D printing and modeling on my own.
Yeah, you're
just for fun.
actually the mayor of
New York.
in New York and 3D Hubs, right?
That's correct. I also am a part of 3D Hubs, which is a great organization, if anyone out there hasn't heard of it, that connects people with 3D printers in their area, so you can get to know people in your neighborhood often. Without knowing it, you'll have a 3D printer just down the block from you. And so
Yes.
for very little money, you can get parts prototyped with a really fast turnaround time, sometimes as little as 24 hours.
Yeah, so
So it's a really good service. So I work for them on the side as well.
yeah, so a lot of people are always asking us, "Oh, can you print this for me? We'll send you a couple of bucks." And we're always like, "Well, if we stopped to do that, we would finish our projects, which is our main job." So we always recommend 3D Hubs and sending that stuff over. I think one of the coolest stories about 3D Hubs is those little Ninja Flex motor protectors for like the Phantom 4s. I remember somebody emailed saying, "Oh, where can I get that? I'm in the Philippines. Where can you ship this overseas?" And I'm like, "Check 3D Hubs." And literally down the street, somebody with Ninja Flex, the good capable printer, was able to print it out for them, for a couple bucks, and he was able to have his drone ready to go on traveling somewhere else. So it's definitely like everywhere worldwide.
Yeah, 3D Hubs is an incredible resource.
So definitely check
if you
that
need
out.
something printed even in metal with like DMLS printing, increasingly there's fancier, larger printers that are becoming available through them.
They have
so you're not
lists.
stuck to ordering something online and having it shipped to you.
Yeah.
Meet someone in person, maybe even see the printer printing
Oh,
the object
that's a
that you
good
ordered
idea.
in person.
Oh, wow.
Which is a really
Never think of that.
nice aspect of
Wow.
doing things through 3D Hubs.
Yeah, so you do a lot of for while you're waiting for like lasers cut or something to print. You always do a lot of really cool tests, like doing these really cool like fabric prints and testing like other parts.
Yeah, this is a Thingiverse file. I forget the Thingiverse
Was it from,
number.
was
but
it
this
from,
is one of the many
Nibis?
different types of chainmail in Thingiverse,
Yeah.
and so this is a really nice demonstration of how accurate a 3D printer can be. This is a flexible piece, but it prints all in one piece, just flat like this, and then you peel it up off the bed, and all these little pieces are printed interlocking together as it goes, as it's building layer by layer. And so for a lot of people who are unfamiliar with 3D printing, they just do not believe that it's possible for something to be printed in one piece that then is flexible and has the feel of fabric when you play with it. So this is a really good demonstration of some of the things that 3D printers can do that a lot of people don't assume they're able to do.
And another cool thing that you like doing with a lot of people in the office is having like solder parties or 3D printer parties.
Right.
So recently you guys all got together and had like a Raspberry Pi or a Pi Girl build party.
Yeah, I spent maybe 2 or 3 weeks leading up to it printing a bunch of Pi Girl cases.
Oh, getting everybody's favorite color and all that.
Yeah, I printed them in many different colors. Some people mixed and matched top and bottom to get
cool.
the color combo they wanted, and then printed different buttons in different types of Ninja Flex so people could get their button color just right. And then we had all these kits ready to go, and there was, I think, 10 or 11 Adafruit employees that participated, and they came up and over the course of 2 nights, we put these together and got them all working.
That's awesome, because it gives a lot of the day-to-day work might, be just soldering a couple of things, not, seeing something that you could play with, but doing a project like this really, may open people's eyes to going, oh wow, I can maybe remix this or something.
From zero to a completed functioning thing is really rewarding.
And some of the other things you also like to do too with like some of our really cool partners from, these are going to Micro Center actually. DigiKey, sorry.
Yeah. So we made some yo-yos. This was last week's project?
I think
the week before? A recent project. It's nice. It's a circuit playground inside a yo-yo. So these parts you can take off the cap. You can see the circuit playground that fits really nicely inside of there. And then these caps, I realized you can make all different color combinations. So I did a variety of colors. I made some extra caps. And this is one of the fun aspects of 3D printing right now. If you're just using a single extruder 3D printer, I've practiced and gotten relatively good at what I call the hot swap.
Yes, that is essential.
As the printer is going, you snip the filament off and you feed a different type of filament in on top of it. And it can be more or less of a hassle depending on how quickly you get that filament in and how accurate you are at getting it to follow the cut piece right.
The timing is critical on that.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you're mixing hard and soft filaments to get that transition to go well. There was a couple of these where I tried to start with a clear base and then follow through with Ninja Flex on top of it. But the Ninja Flex is just not strong enough to push the hard filament through and make a nice clean transition. So I've got a little metal dowel, and I'll use that and I'll push the filament all the way down, and it leaves a bit of a gap in one area of the print because you have to, there's like a little bit of part where it's missing filament, but then you can actually get it to feed through and continue printing. So it is possible, but it takes quite a number of failures to get right.
That is awesome, and a really cool one that we didn't even think of is doing a glow-in-the-dark little part to that, so when your battery dies, you still have like some part of it glowing when you're still using it.
Or if you
it's
hold
a nice little touch.
Light, you don't even need to turn it on.
There you go. Yeah,
glows.
Yeah, it's very awesome. And then,
They're very durable.
Yeah, they're meant to do like
First
sleeping
one we put
dogs.
Together, we got the string on. Started yo-yoing it, just came off the string, smacked it. But it still works fine.
And then last year you entered into the Moat Boat paddle boat.
That's right. Yeah, I love making boats. I haven't had very much success with boat contests, but I think it's really fun, the aspect of building boats. So this is one, I won't be able to be at Maker Faire this year. It's my mom's birthday. Hi, Mom.
Happy birthday.
She's not watching. This is a boat that I printed using Protopasta's coffee filament, which
love
has a
this
really
filament.
nice amber golden
Yeah.
color to it. I really like how it prints. And then I just cut a piece of acrylic to match the top. And once you get everything you want inside this boat, you can seal the top on permanently and make it watertight like a submarine.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So this is in progress.
very cool. And I can see this is where you put the little rubber band
Right, you put the
propeller.
propeller through here,
Very cool.
and then seal it up with grease or something so water can't get through there.
Oh, okay. What are the holes on the?
This would be
back
for a rudder, if you wanted to add a rudder on the back.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah. So if you guys will be at Maker Faire, definitely enter into the Moat Boat paddle boat, which is sponsored by very cool Matt Stoltz, who does a lot of the 3D printing shootouts for Make. I think he's trying to pull up the website right now. Yeah.
Yeah, the Moat Boat paddle battle is
Oh, I
one
would
of
say.
the most fun and competitive parts of Maker
Yeah.
Faire. It gets pretty rowdy.
People don't realize that it's actually kind of hard to make a 3D print design float in not, sort of just, a lot of people like, they'll blast it off and then it just like sort of just tumbles over.
Yeah, last year I was so confident in my boat design, but I didn't have the basic physics of the rubber band being long enough so that it would slowly spin over a long period of time and spin really, really fast all at once. And so my boat just flipped over and never even left the starting line. It's very sad.
But you learned a lot.
You learn
I
a
did.
ton.
Yeah, I learned what I should have remembered from 4th grade.
It's all good.
So definitely check that out. We'll be checking in with Matt on Saturday.
Yep.
And
And Sunday.
see who the winners are this year. Very cool, guys. Yeah,
Yay.
we have a ton of 3D printing going on at Adafruit, not just on our show or with the projects, but like almost everybody who works here sees it or touches it or has some involvement with it at one point in a project.
You mentioned coffee PLA, right?
Yeah,
We have it in the shop.
I do not believe we have it in this shop.
No, we do.
No, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, it
Oh,
gets
great.
in
It
back-
came in, was it last week or this week?
Okay.
It's in the shop.
Okay.
yeah, it's
there
in
was
the
a
shop.
dry spell.
There was, yeah.
That's what I
It's
remember.
pretty popular, even though it doesn't like exactly smell like coffee.
Yeah.
The aesthetics that you get from it, like the transparent brown from it, is really cool. I don't think there's any other filament that has that sort of characteristics.
Yeah, it's really unique. It does have a bit of a scent to it when you're printing with it. If you get the temperature high enough, of
Yeah.
course, you'll smell burnt coffee.
Yep.
But yeah, it just it's unlike any other filament colors, and it's like amber glistening.
It's high
Yeah.
temperature too, right? So you can
Oh, you
anneal
can
it.
anneal it, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did not realize this.
Yeah, it's high temperature, so you can
Okay.
make it nice and strong. Make
Yeah.
it into a planner so it withstands the heat outside.
Very cool.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. A lot of different things you can do with it.
And so what that means is after you've done printing it, you can put it like in an oven, heat it up for
Yeah,
a little
bake it.
bit, bake it,
Yeah.
and it'll strengthen
Anneal
it.
it. Good stuff.
So if you check it out. And
Use coupon code NEOSPAG. Okay. Q&A time.
Somebody in the chat room says this seems appropriate for National Coffee Day.
Isn't every day coffee day? Anyway,
It is here in our household. You need coffee every single day.
speaking of which,
Okay, if anybody has any questions in the chat room, go ahead and get those up. Then we have a couple of community makes this week while we get those queued up.
Yeah, sure. I have them loaded. This week I have some really quick projects. Kirby from Stuff with Kirby put together a Instructables. If you want a really quick and easy Halloween costume for cosplay, he went as he's going as Fix It Felix Jr. from the game. Yes, from the video game Wreck-It Ralph. From the movie, the Pixar movie, Wreck-It Ralph. So it's really simple and easy, just a couple things, and a 3D printed hammer.
Yeah.
Because golden hammer, good stuff.
So he links to where to get all the patches and like SVG
Yeah.
files to make your own. Yeah, really cool
There's a
hammer.
fixer maker in all of us.
Yeah, and I think he modeled it in Fusion, right?
I believe so.
So you can edit that if you like wanted to make like a little kid's version or something, you can shrink it down or something.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. And the next one is this controversial project. The folks over at Four Thieves Vinegar, they designed a EpiPen for $30. That's awesome. Go check that out. I wrote a blog post about it.
This is great to know. I'm allergic to bees.
Oh,
I
no?
do not have an EpiPen.
You can
Make my own.
Yeah, you can make your
I
own.
think the only
30
thing you
bucks.
have to-
It's open source. Yeah, he has all the build of materials listed. He has a nice like instruction packet with like lovely graphics, Amazon links, and
Like where to get the
files, of course.
hypodermic needles and
Yeah.
all the instructions to how to mix everything together.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So definitely check that out.
Very awesome.
Makers saving lives.
Yeah. And then there's a nice blog post from the folks over at Super Release.
This one definitely made the rounds all over the internet.
Yeah, some cool meta materials. So combining sort of rigid materials with flexible materials in certain areas to make a lot of different things. This is pretty cool. This is like a door handle that's hard, but it has flexible areas in the part that allow it to open, sort of like a hinge, but not a hinge. If that makes sense.
So that's printed out of a flexible filament or hard one? Is that a TPU?
I'm not sure. we
hard to
will
tell
have
by
to.
looking at it.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the blog post more in detail.
Judging by
But-
the way that the retraction on that looks like it might be Ninja Flex because of the way that
Or semi-flex.
or semi-flex. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it looks like the handle is a little bit flexible.
Yeah. So definitely an interesting way.
I think it's the structure that's really allowing it to be flexible, right? So it could be any material, maybe. Just having that. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that's all I got.
Very cool. So in the chat room, people are asking, what do you guys think about the rep wrap printers? Like, do you guys think that the age of building a printer from scratch is over? Like, have like people like PrinterBot like figured out that just make everything out of metal, instead of having 3 printed parts? What are you guys feelings on that?
I think it's still pretty strong.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder, like, when you want to go further, when you want to do like higher resolution and stuff like that, there's a limit to how fine of a thing you can machine yourself or
Yeah.
mold yourself. So, I kind of think like the do-it-yourself stuff is great to get started with and to like learn the whole process. If you really want to go further with it, then you probably want to see how it all works. But the stuff that you can buy, where it's like built to do these really high-quality prints, it's going to be really hard to do that yourself, I think. So you'll probably hit this wall. I bet there's some barrier where you just can't get better quality until you really up the way it's built for that. So I don't know. I still love the idea. I think it's cool, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's a challenge. If you can make a DIY printer that gets down to like really low resolution and it doesn't cost you thousands of dollars in machining and things like that, that'd be kind of cool. So.
Yeah, I sort of have a sort of love-hate relationship with parts that are 3 printed. At one hand, if something breaks, you can print out another part, maybe stronger, better. But then at the other hand, it's a 3 print part. It's at some point, the heat is going to get to it and it's going to wear down. And what are you going to do when your printer is down and you can't use it to print itself another part? So it's it's always that weird hand-in-hand thing.
Print out a part, cast it in metal. You could always do that. Or you could
What's
just
that?
machine it out of metal.
Yeah, you machine it.
Okay.
Someone else is asking, will we ever carry the PrinterBot Metal Plus Zebra plate? I think the Ultimaker plate might fit it. I'm not sure. I have to look at
It
the
has to have that
dimensions.
copper layer for the Zebra.
I think they all do, don't they? Oh no, we have the skins.
We might not
Okay.
stock it, but you could always get it from printnc.com.
Have you ever tried? Could you put copper tape under one without maybe?
I have
Maybe
not.
that works. I don't know.
That might work.
Worth
Yeah,
an
we.
experiment.
It might be too thick, but
Yeah.
you could try it. We could try it.
Oh, you're right. They do put
It
it like
needs to
right
be
in the
in
middle of
between
it.
the
Yeah.
substrates.
Or put a bunch
Okay.
of pennies or something under it, maybe.
I think somebody suggested that actually before.
Good use for old pennies.
Yeah. Somebody is asking, how do you make texture on CAD models?
Yeah, so you could project project 3D geometry onto sketches, and then do all sorts of things on it.
Yeah. So are you
There-
thinking
check
like?
out specifically for Fusion. There's quite a few tutorials.
Okay.
There's one called Advanced 3D Sketching by Taylor Steen.
Oh yeah.
It's on their YouTube channel, Autodesk Fusion 360.
Subscribe to that.
YouTube
For
channel.
other packages, like Mesh Mixer is a free open source software. You can
just paint it on there.
You can paint it on there. It's like a
stamps and
sculpting
things.
brush.
You get like a paint file,
Yeah,
and then it turns it into a brush.
I think you have like stenciling options in there too, so you can like bring in a texture model, and it's just like a black and white, values on there with like gradients, so you can like adjust the height of that. So definitely check that out. What do you guys use to make your animated logos? Tony, you use After Effects?
No, although I studied computer graphics, I could maybe program some graphic stuff, but using the software, it's like, I'm not an artist, unfortunately, so that's the problem. When you need to make something look good, it's a little hard. So I don't do a lot of motion graphics because of that, but I don't know. You guys are kind of the pros at that, I think.
I think that's what it does. Yeah, just After Effects. No, you made your intro for your show.
Well, yeah, I guess you can go pretty far with Photoshop and just make each frame and then turn that into an animation.
Oh, that's how you did. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do have timeline features in Photoshop, so yeah, just move the frames around and you get a really nice effect that way. What CAD software do you guys use? Everything
It's
from
obvious.
yeah, Tinkercad to 123
Yeah,
to Fusion.
it doesn't matter what you use. Just use it. Just learn it.
As long as the models are watertight.
The one that I played a little bit with and I feel like I need to learn more about is I think OpenSCAD, where it's like the programmatic kind of modeling one, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's a different style, but really good for like parametric things. So
OpenSCAD was what I actually used for my like brief stint in the like 3D printing world, and I thought it was great because I was doing like a slot for a battery case and a slot for a permaproto board. The nice thing about having like your geometry defined in text next to the model was that you know exactly how big it's going to be.
Wow.
I found that really easy. I would love to see how people do all the organic shapes that they 3D print now, because that's just like amazing to me.
Yeah, I think there's a big community with OpenSCAD. Yeah.
OpenSCAD, definitely.
There's a nice
Especially,
community on Thingiverse.
Yeah, because of the customizer, everybody using that to make changes really quick on it, and the servers that are handling all the building of the file is pretty fast nowadays.
Yeah, customizer's great.
Next up, how do you guys wrap SVGs around a non-uniform shape inside of Fusion? So.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to project the SVG. It's the parser. The SVG parser in Fusion is a little bit needs some work because there's some scaling issues.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. It like worked one time and now it's broken.
What project did I do that in where I did have to bend SVG around something?
I think.
Or did I just
projected
remake
it onto a curve and then extruded it?
Is that what it was? Oh, okay. Yeah. I extruded it and then I cut away from it so that the model was actually bent in that way. Yeah, they gotta fix that.
It's a little tricky workaround thing.
Yeah. If I like needed to do something like that, like in Maya, you can grab all the UV points and just add a deformer on it and just bend it around whatever you want. Well, they're always updating Fusion, so maybe they'll get it.
All right, I think that's gonna be it because we're running at an hour now.
Yep, we'll be checking out multi-printing at
if you guys are at Make Fair, a lot of us will be there. So
stop by,
come and say hi. I'll be wearing a hat with my name on it.
Dano will not be there next year though. Probably next year. Scott, you'll be there. Phil be there. Tony D. So you see either of us, come say hi. Always like meeting our fans.
This one. All right. Hey guys, if you want to support the show, support all of us to keep doing what we're doing. Why not support your maker habits? Neo spikes. All right, I'm tired, guys. I gotta get.
We need some more caffeine shots.
Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you all for joining every week.
Yep.
What's the thing we say at the end? Keep on printing?
Something like that.
So, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye,
Thanks
everybody.
For joining in.
And I play music.